So I'm visiting a neighbor at an undisclosed location and showing the amazing creativity over here. There's, I'll just show you a glimpse of other cabins. There's very interesting cabins that I'd like to show. This cabin is called Room 101. You can see the motel key. It has a Starlight Motel. And you see the motel pictures and period clocks and things. But if you look a little closer, the whole theme here is this, which is really cool. And if you're familiar with that, then you might be familiar with this. Really neat. Even the light fixture, it's just great. Here's another amazing artifact. This thing is awesome. I really want one of those for some of our smaller spaces that people could stay in. Here's the bedroom. It's just amazing. I just keep chuckling because of just the motel feel. But then you've got these really cool things. And can you see this one closely? And these are kits that you don't have to do your own carpentry. You just assemble them as a kit. They're made in Europe. Decided to buy myself an off-brand laser leveler. I don't want to spend $600 or something to get Bosch or a DeWalt. I just decided that I have a couple projects that could benefit from this, but I'm not going to be doing this for a living. So just something economical that I can also share with friends. I'm going to start trying to learn how to use this thing. It looks like it should be fairly simple. So right off the bat, especially since I'm working with a container, I like this magnetic mount. I was trying to figure out how in the world do you attach this thing? It's got the screw for a tripod. How do you attach it to here? And then I went online and looked at a couple things and found out you hang it from this, so it just kind of slides on there like that. It's got a little level on top that I can get it partway leveled, and then it's going to level itself also. So there we go. This unlock switch is also the power switch, and the unlock, I don't know if you can, it's almost like water sort of leveling itself. So I set the laser about 6 inches higher so that I can walk around with this stick. And I don't know if you can see the green light right on that black mark. So this height would be just right. So right here is how high I want everything to be. And I can go and check it. And I can say, let's see, it's pretty difficult to see it. Well, I could see it a second ago. I can't see it now. Seems like I can see it when I move. There we go. So it's right along in here. So this is maybe 3 inches too high. It looks like I'm gonna have to do this at dusk, or when it gets a little darker in the evening. I can go around and check things. Get this distance. The laser's just not bright enough. Cindy's making some French toast with bread that she made herself, which is pretty much what we eat now. We don't buy very much bread anymore. Then this is what I wanted to show you, was these sprouts. They kind of exploded overnight. And Cindy bought these lids online. They have surgical steel mesh to keep them from rusting or anything. There we go, there's the brand name. I can't read it, I don't have my glasses on. But doing your own sprouts is super healthy. Even has some cancer.
Sulfofluorine in broccoli sprouts. It's anti-cancer.
Sulfofluorine. On the 5th day, you get a lot of anti-cancer out of that. And these are broccoli, alfalfa, and do we have red clover in this?
Crimson clover.
Red crimson clover. Pretty cool. There's some nice flowers. Cindy was mentioning these sprouters. We're using them for some supplemental chicken food. She's doing alfalfa and red clover over here. We were having trouble with broccoli in these. One of these we've used for years, and it did great with alfalfa. But when we started doing broccoli, we started having problems with it starting to go bad before it was completely ready. This is Kitchen Crop Sprouter. And they're very easy to use. You just pour water in the top. It goes down to the bottom. Later in the day, you dump that and pour some in the top again. You do it about twice a day, and it grows all these layers. You have to be careful how many seeds you put in there. Today we had, well, overnight we had one of the heavier rains that we've had. Everything is puddles everywhere. Too wet for grading today. So the laser level is really good, but it's hard to see in the daytime. The laser is pretty bright, but again, it's hard to see with the sun shining. So I ordered this receiver, and this can see the laser when I can't see the laser. That'll make it so I can use this in the daytime, and I won't have to wait until dusk to see whether or not I've done a good job. We got our inspection, and the drain lines, all these white pipes, passed inspection, so we're happy about that. The supply lines, all the red and blue pipes, because I used joints in those pipes, I put in connectors underground. I was told that I have to have a pressure test, which makes sense, that they want to make sure all those joints are connecting properly. If we pour the concrete on top of it and then find out something's leaking, that would be terrible. Then we got to cut through the concrete. So we don't want to do that. So I made these connections to connect all the pipes together so that everything is all one connected pipe and all of them are plugged on the ends. And then I put a pressure test on it. I pumped it up to 100 pounds and left that for 30-45 minutes. So it's holding perfectly, so everything's good underground. I can go ahead and cover everything up and get everything ready for the slab, and then we'll do the test again. The inspector comes out. When he's inspecting for the pre-slab, he'll also inspect these pipes. Cindy's done some planting. And we just had lots of rain again, constantly having lots of rain. I noticed a bunch of little plants popping up. And then over in this bed, I don't even know if I don't think she planted in this bed. So I don't know what these little plants are, but we'll find out soon enough. Maybe this is just a lot of weeds that need pulling. Here's another one. I hope these are food plants that I see coming up everywhere. And I wish we didn't have all these ants in here. And the fourth bed, I'm pretty sure that's kale, because those are some nice large plants. They look the same. Of course, tons of seedlings look exactly the same. And then when they get to be maybe an inch or two tall, they suddenly start taking on the shape of the other plants. The rain has dried up a little bit, so I'm doing some more grading. This is the first time I've done grading, and my hats are off to all of you that have done it. Just digging with the tractor is not the best tool for digging. Keeping it level, I'm enjoying the laser, but it's a bear to grade and then check and see the level, and then try to remember which parts are level and which parts need a little bit more skimmed off. And then you think you dig too deep, and just tricky. But this is working good. I just got a stick, mounted that thing on there so that I can turn on the laser and I can walk around and I can see how far am I set it about 2 inches off the ground, so if I'm in an area that's still about 2 inches high, too high, I can still say, okay, this needs about 2 inches taken off. Anyway, it's working out pretty good. So there's the arrow telling me, there we are. So it looks like about 8 inches off the ground, but this is where I'm going to be building up some dirt. Well, I'm getting pretty close. I got to get this front edge cleaned up. I got to compact some dirt down on this end. More progress. You can see these mounds of dirt. They're over 5 feet high at the top. And then this area that's dug out is about 2 feet. It's a little bit more than 2 feet in the corner right here. I'm really surprised how flat I'm getting this too. It's not perfect, but I would say the entire thing is within an inch. So I'm excited about that. Most areas are about a ½ an inch difference. So I'm shocked. This is shown me how difficult it is working on this, and really I think I sort of stumbled into it being done pretty well. I'm not bragging on myself, I'm just surprised actually. Now I'm just trying to take these edges and square them up so that they can put forms around the slab. So I'm coming outside my string a little bit so they'll have room for the 2x4s and stuff to form up around where they're going to pour the concrete. I did accidentally grab hold of my wire that goes to the barn. I got 2 wires in there and I only caught one of them, and it did not pull it apart. I'm so glad, because when I was lifting the bucket I couldn't see it, and so I pulled it up more than a foot before I realized I was catching on to something.